Alrighty, we are finally back. We are back doing videos again. It feels good. It just feels good. You know, I took some time off. To be honest, I did take some time off. I wanted to do one of these videos for a while now, and I kept putting it off. I'm gonna be honest. I'll get into that in a little bit, but I just wanted to do more of these videos, and I just didn't know the timing. I don't know. It fell off. I'm going to be honest. For me, it wasn't until so I follow a YouTube channel called Hauntformer. That's HAUNT Former. He is excellent at what he does with like the Halloween videos and for all things Halloween, and does movie reviews, Spirit Halloween animatronics, pretty much any type of like Halloween animatronic he does. Sorry, I'm a little rusty at this, but that is where I got the inspiration, because I was like, okay, do what, makes you happy and what you enjoy, and get back out there and start making videos again. Because if I can get you into the Halloween spirit, goal accomplished right there. I just want to reach as many people as I can. So now we are going to do the Lowe's animatronics reviews first. Then we're going to do Spirit Halloween, then Distortions, and then I'll do just a little bit towards the end. But thank you so much for watching so far, and let's get to it. Now what I did is just went to Lowe's.com, typed in Halloween. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing what they have. Obviously, here is their Mickey stuff, their Disney stuff from, years past. Their Soul Sucker guy from, looks like Spirit Halloween. They have some of their Halloween decor. the Chihuahua and the Freddy costume is pretty creative. I do like that. They do step out of the box on some stuff, and they do kind of push the limit on stuff, which is good. It's not Spirit, it's not Distortions, but it's, it's their own. It's not Home Depot, but I don't mind some of the Lowe's stuff. I like more of their decor, but their animatronics, not the biggest fan, especially this year. They could have spent some more, but we're going to go over them. This here is a haunted living 5-foot animatronic clown for $150. Okay, he's on a swing set. I love the costume. He's creepy. I like the shoes, how they say haha on him, but let's see the video. In this video, see the mechanism that should be covered. So you can pack it away safely until next year. I mean, yeah, he's creepy. Okay, I don't need to see a how to tear him apart video. I wanted to see the actual, but I digress. There's probably not much to him. He's okay. If you have a clown theme, sure, go for it. But $140, $150, that's a bit expensive for that type of just swing animatronic. Lowe's really likes their clowns. I've noticed that. But for $300, this guy, that's a bit expensive again. I mean, clowns are cool, I guess. I did a carnival theme for a college haunt years ago. But how he changes his voice, that's kind of cool, and the spring action. Gotta give him creative props there. He's not for me. He'll sell, because some people really do love the clown theme and the carnival theme, which I get. People, there's, the whole coolophobia type fear. They'll sell. I don't know, I have a problem with some of the animatronics. And then there's this guy. Okay, this guy's going along with their band members they had, like with the guy with the guitar and the drums. Let's view the video. I mean, look at those eyes. There is no soul behind those eyes. Those things are freaky. he'll sell because he's, you know, whimsical and for the kids and Bluetooth, but not for me. Now, this is a crying clown for $250. You know, if he's crying, I expect him to be like, you know, that. In the video here we're about to see, he's not crying. He's just on a bicycle. I mean, it's okay. I would like it if he was a larger clown on like a little bicycle. That'd be funny. But just, it's another clown. You know, the face reminded me a lot of something you'd see at CVS. I had a clown like that, a little one, like a stand-up. This witch here, I really enjoyed. I love the spell book. That is creepy. Okay, how she is, you know, hypnotizing this child. Obviously, it's a complete reskin of the Soul Sucker.
Everyone deserves a chance to fly. And everybody
Okay.
deserves a chance to die.
I don't mind this one. It's a complete reskin, so there's not much originality to it. The kid crying in that is creepy. It's not for me, but like if you put that in like Salem, it's gonna fit right in. It's not for me, but it is still, it's okay, you know. Now this prop here, this is the one that got me excited about Lowe's. This prop here reminds me a lot of the Ripley's Museum in Canada. They had this guy on like these pillars. He was impaled. It was from like something historical. It actually happened. But this reminds me instantly of this. This is where Lowe's starts to push the border, which I like. For $170, sold. That is not that bad of a price. And let's see this. Okay, if you have that in like your house, like your side yard, and say like up against like a brick wall, like where you'd fall like out from a window underneath this, like if you have fencing, that'd be kind of cool to add him in there. If that, you know, like you hear that crying, wailing coming, you know, from down the street, and you're walking up to that, you're kind of freaked out by that. That I actually really enjoy. I don't plan on picking him up. You know, if I had my own place with like a brick house and fencing and all that cool Victorian stuff that's in the plan, I would. This is also another prop that I enjoy. For some reason, old people freak me out when they're dressed in like the Victorian gowns and they're lifeless. Like this. Okay, whoever did the voice acting, the voice on this, sold. I would change the prop a little bit to different eyes. Maybe darken them, change the clothing a bit. It's definitely freaky. It's not for me because, I mean, we get this type of prop every year. Screaming old woman, screaming this person, Banshee. Yes, it lacks originality. But for $210, I'd make it like $180. Okay? Some of the stuff is expensive for not that great of quality. This guy drew my eye because I love ice cream. Am I getting him? No, absolutely not. Because I don't know where to put him. And I don't have like an ice cream theme. If I had an ice cream stand, perfect. But let's watch the video here. Okay, I like the melting texture here on the face. I don't like the it almost looked like Gordo from Spirit Halloween, where he's got the, you know, the vines. This, or the innards, it's okay. It's ice cream. I love ice cream, but do I want it as a haunted animatronic prop? No. Again, it's another clown. I like the idea that this is going out of the box, but it's not for me. So the last three props from Lowe's, I don't mind. They're pushing the envelope a little bit. They're, you know, getting into their territory that's not just Disney. It's not just for kids. This, I like the idea. I love the concept. I love the old school Victorian, like, hat racks. The, you know, the wooden old style ones that you put your hat on at the end of the day. This would look perfect in like an old school, like Victorian mansion. Okay, the dog, the barking and the howl, the face lost me, okay? Make it a different style or make it lunge forward violently. Something like that where you have to walk through a closet or, you know, you're going through that, like this old school Victorian house. Not this guy that looks like a mix of Killer Croc and the Jeepers Creepers monster. I love the concept. Don't like the execution of it, though. It's just... And then we get down to there's stuff like the skeleton with the dancing hands and the music and the DJ. Okay, the DJ, if you had a party, like if you owned a bar or something like that, I would put him next to an actual DJ. That would be kind of cool. But, again, like on your front porch and stuff, no. You know, I'm thinking more of like the pro-level haunters that actually own a haunted house, or people that like me, that I'm not a pro by any means, but I want to decorate my front yard, make it look awesome, but I don't need every animatronic under the sun. I want it to be themed, like cemetery themed or haunted farm, like that. But I want to put the quality and the detail in. Some of these props, they just look kind of cheap. The spiders, okay, it's stuff I've seen year after year, and Lowe's, you have the money. You know, I'm not dogging on everything. It's starting, you know, when they first announced Halloween decor, I was excited. I was like, oh, cool, Halloween and Lowe's and Home Depot, they're on this, like, tier, you know, fantastic. But then you start to see Lowe's kind of decline a little bit. And then, yes, people will buy it. You know, they're in there for Lowe's, you know, home improvement stuff. They'll buy it because it's there, but Lowe's now, I feel, is having this reputation of, okay, it's just like Spirit. Spirit obviously can push the envelope a little more because it's an actual Halloween store. I don't know if Lowe's wants to be that, or if they want to be known as like the Disney stuff, Haunted Mansion. You know, your blow molds are kind of cool, the plastic stuff. I kind of like the Lowe's decor. I've gotten a couple pumpkins from them, but that's really about it. I'm not there for their animatronics. Their animatronics, to me, just, they don't do it. You know, I appreciate they're trying. You know, this was the first year I've seen them actually try to push the envelope on some of the stuff. But just, it's okay. You know, and I don't want to feel that way about Lowe's, but, you know, for $87, I don't mind this werewolf rug, to be honest. I love the old school, like, log cabin or Victorian home with the wolf skin on the ground. Him I'd pick up if he was like $50, but not $90. $90 is a bit expensive. Sorry, I can't do it. Spirit Halloween had a cool wolf, like animatronic on the floor. I had that for 1 year. I don't know where that went, to be honest. But, I mean, it's the stuff here with Lowe's. You know, you've seen it. It's cool to see once, but I'm not going to buy it. You know, we're going to go to Spirit Halloween next, see what they have live. You know, they did a teaser where they had the alien from, obviously, Alien. Creepy. I like how they're doing Harbor Lake. It's going to be like a Friday the 13th vibe. You know, Camp Crystal Lake. Love that theme. I heard there's a Jason. You know, you've got this crawling zombie. This obviously is new. You can't go wrong with the zombies or the crawling guys. Some of them are cool if they're done well. I loved the animatronic bulldog where he's coming out of his cage. I was sold on that. That's cool. You could have him in like your backyard, something like that. This guy to me reminds me a little bit of Elvis. I don't know if it's the hair or the clothes being too clean because he's on the ground. Dirty them clothes up. Like, he's okay. But for $140, that's pushing it. Make it like $100 or $90. The hair like a politician. Like, it's just, I don't know. It reminds me a lot of the Evil Dead, the face. I love the backdrop they did. You know, the decor. That part's cool. It's another crawler. We get them every year in some different variety or style. I mean, the face is cool. I like, you know, the wrinkles and the detail they put in, but it's just, it's all right. He'd be cool in a cemetery if you could put some fog and try to hide him a little bit, try to hide some of the, you know, the lacking part of it. But, you know, it is what it is. He'll still sell. Now this I am sold on. This thing is awesome. Okay, this is, it just says pumpkins, and it's a sign with a pumpkin on it, okay? Simple. But look at the pumpkin guts in that thing. Look at how realistic that is. When I first saw this on the website, I lost my shit. Okay, look at this. You cannot find better if it looks just as good as the photo unless you make this yourself. For $420, that is a bit steep because I don't think it does anything. It just looks like it's, you know, static. But look at how realistic this is. When you see that pumpkin like that, I mean, from afar, you're going to think that's real. I wish Gordo had the exact same type of, like, pumpkin innards like that, but he doesn't. But that thing, if it goes on sale for, if you can get it for like $100, maybe $200, buy it. It is fantastic. The way they made that sign look in the pumpkin, I might paint the sign a little bit, like kind of maybe red or brown, make it look a little older, but I love how it's deteriorating. If they made all their props like this, I mean, awesome. That it's very well done. You know, I would love to see, you know, more props like that. You know, but obviously, you know, I'm going to try, you know, hopefully a lot of people buy it, give it good reviews, you know. We need more quality stuff like that. That thing blew me out of the water when I saw that. It's fantastic. Now we're going to try to find more of their props here, any of their new stuff. There's Gordo, there's Sam, you know. Let's see what else we got here. See if we can find any of the new stuff. I know they did a whole teaser video and they did some of the new stuff. You know, I'll wait. Here is Gordo. Okay, this guy came out a couple years ago. Look at the pumpkin innards right there. Okay, watch. Those are like kind of made out of felt. I get it. At the time, it was cool. But now that you have that pumpkin sign, take Gordo, put those realistic looking pumpkin innards in it from the sign, and morph them together. Okay, Gordo, to me, a little bit kind of looks like a basketball. Just saying. But if you stick those innards in there and you try to make them like a realistic looking pumpkin, yeah, that'd be a worthy reskin, and he'd sell. I mean, Gordo already sold on his own because he was kind of like a fan favorite. He was like a dark horse. But I'm sold for the realistic, and if you put quality and time into it, sold. Now, speaking of quality, time, we have none better than Distortions, okay? They do it better than anybody else. I remember watching this company when they did Making Monsters on the Travel Channel years ago when I would watch it in October. Absolutely love that show, okay? These guys here, fantastic. You find these props at Universal Studios. You find them at Cedar Point Hollow Weekends. You find them at probably Disney or your pro-level haunted houses where you're actually making good money, you know, on haunted houses, stuff like that. That's where these props are going to be. I mean, look at this guy, a Ghost Revenant. Yes, he is expensive, but you get what you pay for. I mean, look at, he kind of looks a little bit like Steven Tyler, not going to lie. I'm a huge Aerosmith fan. But look at the clothing on this. Look at the chains. You know, the face, the hair. I have probably no doubt I'm going to see him at Cedar Point or some haunt this year because he's just, when people mention Distortions, it's fantastic. Look at this Frankenstein. Now, he doesn't look like, obviously, the OG we have up here, but look at that. You have the lightning rods. Just look at his skin, his chest, his forehead. You've got look at the detail. I mean, look at here. You've got the stitching, the bolts into the side of his head. Like, that is quality right there. You cannot get better than that. Yes, he is a little over $1,000. But man, if you have him at a restaurant or pro level haunted house, like in a queue line, or like a haunted like laboratory with these things, like the volts, and they go zip, zip, like that. That is your moneymaker. This type of stuff is what's gonna get people in the doors, because it just cannot get better. I mean, look at this corpse legend. Okay, he is a little under $1,000, but look at that. That is muscle tissue. Those are muscle fibers. Okay, that is awesome. That is detail you will not find anywhere else, you know, at like a Spirit or Lowe's. Heck, Home Depot, you know, they'll get close, but there's no other level. That is the level right there. I mean, look at this. You see his rib cage. You see he's got, you know, muscle fibers going down here. You see his arms, and I mean, look at that. Look at his knees. That's wrinkled, like, it looks like realistic skin. It's gross and it's terrifying. But if you're a zombie fan or love, like, the undead, that type, sold. I know, Asylum Sam. This guy's freaky. I wouldn't buy him just because, you know, if I had him in my house by myself, no, screw that. That's freaky. But for almost $619, that's a steal. Look at the level of detail and the makeup, and you can tell it's distortions on how they use this type of, like, they have a certain style with their props and the skin tones and just the way they look. It fantastic. I mean, we're gonna look through here now. This prop I would absolutely love to have. He is expensive as hell, which, don't get me wrong, you're getting what you pay for, but it's the Mad Scientist, okay? He's almost $4,000, but that is worth it. When I picture a Mad Scientist, I picture that, okay? If you have him in a laboratory, kind of up high, where you can't see the whole thing of him, you know, he's just working away, just zip, zip, you know, doing his lab sciences and stuff, you know, his experiments. Put that Frankenstein in there as like a jump scare, perfect. You know, this guy, look at the level of detail in the buttons alone that they put on this guy, the wrinkles, the mat, you know, the goggles. This is exactly what, when you say Mad Scientist, it's this guy. There's nothing better. That's exactly what I picture every single time. You know, they nailed it. It's like they pulled it right out of my head and stuck it on there. It is fantastic. I absolutely love this thing. You know, I know I sound like, oh, I'm just preaching up distortions. Oh, they've earned it. They are, year after year, they always surprise me with their new stuff. And I go back every single year just to see what they have. Do I own any distortions? No. But they are a reason why I have some of their props in my camera roll. Like, look at this big brain, this evil brain. He's almost $6,000, but he looks like something evil you'd see off of The Wizard of Oz. Or like this really cool factory put in with that lab scientist we just saw. Like, that is terrifying. Look at this machine. It looks like it's right out of the 1940s. It's that well done. I mean, that is freaky. You know, it's just something that boggles your mind and pushes your curiosity and wonder. And you're just like, what the heck did I just see? You know, obviously, distortions, they have more expensive stuff. But like these guys here, these pumpkin stalkers, I saw these all over Cedar Point Hollow Weekends. Absolutely loved them. They looked fantastic. You know, I would love to own one day. We're going to go find a prop that I have saved in my camera roll for years, because I saw this at Cedar Point Hollow Weekends once, and I've wanted it ever since. It is a vampire that's hanging upside down, and it looks realistic. Okay, I can't wait to own one of these. It's a bit expensive. They have the flatback version and the regular. So we're going to go to the full-size one here. Okay, it's going to be a little expensive, but as I said again, you know, it's buy it. Buy it, buy it, buy it. Especially if you love Halloween and, like, you want to get, you know, to that next level, this is the company to do it. Now let's pull up that vampire here. Vampire props, but this is the guy. Okay, he's almost $1,500. You know, maybe less than that with taxes. But look at that. Look at the wing detail. Look at the feet. You know, the chest, the whole design. You know, at Cedar Point, they have 3 of these all next to each other. Or like in a bar, they have a vampire bar. Very cool. And they have them up on the wall. and it looks like that thing could just come to life like that. And that is something I've wanted for a long time. If I have like a Halloween office in my house one day, stick him up in the corner, you know, just make it just freaky as hell, or put him on your front porch. Get a bunch of fog on your front porch, have like a whole cemetery theme out front. You walk up, you see this big guy you know, right there on the wall. You're like, holy shit, you know, awesome. You know, I know I'm doing this a lot, you know, but it's, man, no one does it better. And so what I'm saying is you have options. Obviously, if you're your pro level haunted house, restaurant, bar, you know, serious Halloween yard decorator or haunted house, go to Distortions, Home Depot, Spirit Halloween, and then Lowe's. Nothing wrong with either one of those. There's just different qualities of each, which I don't mind. And, you know, I'm excited to start this year and see what happens. So thank you so much for watching this video. It's not over just yet. I got one more thing, and it's important to me, so I hope that you do watch it. And thank you so much again. So I'm going to get on to this next part. Alright guys, thank you so much if you stayed this long in the video. I just wanted to, I guess, just touch base on this, and I don't know, I felt like I wanted to just share it with you guys on something that was very important to me and still is. The reason why I have a different backdrop than, obviously, my movie shelf and whatnot is I have this giant photo board of all these things that mean so much to me now, that the reason why I took some time off, I'm going to be honest, is I lost a very close friend of mine. He was one of my best friends of all time. And he actually introduced me to another best friend of mine, Matt. And this guy, Chris, was on the same tennis team as me. We shared so many great memories going to the movies on Saturdays and getting popcorn and, you know, just joking around all the time, laughing, playing games of horse in his, you know, in his driveway, and going to haunted houses. And that's the reason why I have this here is we went to 31 haunted houses over 10 years. I can't believe I still dragged him to all of them, and he loved it just as much. And he was always excited. He's like, what haunt were we going to go to next? And sometimes we went to 2 haunts in one night, and it was amazing. You know, it took me a minute to get back into wanting to do the videos again and stuff. And I knew I wanted to make something to honor his legacy and, like, show that, Chris, I know you're always with me, man. And it's not easy. You know, this is not, it's hard for sure. I'm going to miss you for sure. And I know I'll see you again and we'll do haunted houses and stuff, but man, it's not expected. And I wanted to share this with you guys because this here is like all the haunted houses here. And why I wanted to share this is that life is short. And it's good to be extra with stuff and enjoy Halloween and holidays and stuff that really makes you passionate and happy. Because you never know what can happen. Life is way too short. And so that's why I love this quote. I wrote it down that eventually I want to have it framed in my house is, we don't get many Octobers. Be extra with them. Go over the top in traditions, decorating, you know, drink all the ciders and spices, read witchy books and watch scary movies. Most importantly, do not waste your Octobers. We only get so many. So I just thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. You know, Chris, I love you. And thank you guys.